Hi everyone and welcome back to another board game video. Today's video is dedicated to tips to beating chapter 10, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So if you go into quest, go into main quest, and then you're going to be presented with the newest chapter, chapter 10. Let's go into normal really quick. You can see here the best way to pretty much get 3 stars or beat the overall thing is, I wouldn't use this team because obviously that's going to be for something else and I feel like that's a little bit unrealistic. You can use the standard Pekko, Carol, Kokoro, Yui, and Yukari team. Like this is like the classic free-to-play team. Obviously, my characters have higher stars on them, so I'm not a very good cookie cutter example of what most accounts will look like. A lot of this has been through farming hard shards and stuff, and if y'all don't know, I've been going a little crazy refreshing shards and whatnot just to get through everything, and I'll even provide some tips on the next Dungeon 2X event that's going to be occurring, so look out for that. Tomorrow is the day you technically sit on Dungeon, but we'll cover it again later. So you can see here this team is performing fairly well. I can show all the stats and stuff, but of course, like I said, the stars, just note that like stars, they don't really increase the unit's power or anything. If anything, what stars actually do is just raise the character's defenses for the most part, and what happens is it throws off their UBs and their timings during clan battle. So some people would actually advise having like high starred units is detrimental for clan battle progress in order to get timings and stuff appropriate, because less UBs mean like, you know, less damage. But for this situation, you know, within story, the more stars the better, because, you know, you can survive longer, you can somewhat deal more damage, and it doesn't really matter if you get a UB off when things are just more casual in this section. And as you can see, you know, the standard free-to-play team makes very short work of like, you know, this normal run right here. No losses or anything. You have like fantastic heals with both Yui and Yukari, and everything is good to go. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and finish this out, and then we're gonna show hard mode. Now, I don't want to really focus too much on normal mode. You can also do the things where once you go back to the original section, you can check out like the past parties to see what worked for other folks, because I know like there are some teams where it's like, well, what if I don't want to run this team? Well, here's some other teams that you can run. All right, so we're gonna go into hard mode now, and one of the things that I want to showcase is not really like these two teams or like these two stages. I actually wanted to showcase this stage. So this stage is pretty difficult, and I'm going to be using an unconventional team. It's the team that you guys saw earlier. So it's Nozomi, Miyako, Yukari, Mimi, and Hiyori. I could probably replace Hiyori, and the reason why I'm running this team is because I feel like AoE is very important. I usually have a tough time defeating like the last like enemy in this section, and it's not the actual boss itself, but the little stingray dude. I'm not sure why, I always like ended up like running out of time and stuff. Obviously your results will vary depending on your team, because not everyone has the same situation when it comes to characters and stuff, right? I feel like the big MVPs for this fight were definitely Yukari, Nozomi, and Miyako. The other like team members like Mimi and Hiyori, I'm pretty sure they can be replaced. I tried running like Mitsuki, Suzuna, Shiori, all sorts of units. It didn't really work out. So I feel like in order for this team, like this is very team specific, but there are like a plethora of different teams that I saw work out within the past parties. So this Stingray dude, very annoying. I dislike him. Alright, so this is probably like the hardest, I guess, stage right now within the game, you could say. Just because I don't think he was harder than the Peacock. The Peacock from Saren stage was like way harder. But this is just something that I talked about just because I wanted to see if folks had other teams that were just as viable as mine. Of course, like mine's not realistic, like I said earlier, but it's just something to show where my mindset was at, because I wanted to take out that Ninon, but most of all I wanted to take out that Stingray as well. And one of my favorite units is like using AoE units like Mimi and Hiyori to pretty much mitigate all of the damage that I'm trying to deal out, because a lot of the times I feel like if I could do more AoE in story, it would be more beneficial, and in this situation I felt like it was rightly so. Oh, Miyako died on this run. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes that happens and you just get bad RNG, and that's what you know, just occurs in Priconne sometimes. You get bad RNG, and just like in everything else, you're just like, okay, guess that happened. Also, this is a good place to farm if you didn't know, for like hard mode. And the reason for that is because it has very good resources for all characters. So let's go back to main quest and then go back here. Elemental heart and then this sword. This elemental heart is used for a majority of characters, and this sword is used by a majority of characters. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you go into character here, Tamaki is using the elemental heart, and then there's like a few characters that actually use it. So Saren's using it, Kaori's using it, Photo's using it. It's just one of those things that you're gonna want to farm, so that's gonna be there. Let's go ahead and go into my guild house and show you what exactly I'm going to be doing hard quest wise. I believe today is the last day. You know, feel free to correct me in the comments down below, but it says 1 day here, but sometimes it can be like a little bit confusing for me, because I know that could be like 1 day in a couple of hours, so there's that, right? And I have been refreshing, for example, these two nodes, Eriko and Shinobu. Like, I've been refreshing those like most persistently out of all of the nodes, just because of the fact that it's very hard for me to acquire like stuff for them. If some of you are wondering, am I focusing on getting characters to 8.5, or am I focusing on getting more shards? Right now, since we have, you know, 2x hard, I hope that you guys are focusing on spending more of your stamina on shards, just because of the fact that this won't really happen too frequently, and at the pace that we're currently going at, right? If they give us so much time between banners and events, and if clan battle sort of like slows down, or they change like how they run it and everything, then I feel like it's better to focus on shards, because it gives you more time to build characters. But at the end of the day, we don't really know what's going on until like CR announces the next clan battle. But usually they announce it like a couple days to like a week in advance. And yes, I always go into this bonus shop. I always buy the EXP pots if possible. And some of you are wondering, how do I have so much mana and all that stuff? It just has to do with the fact that I got the Grotto pack before. Now I don't have it, so there's that, right? And I want to get some more Saren shards. That's the... Well, I'll probably refresh some stamina a bit later, just so I can do that, right? When it comes to a couple of things, let's go ahead and jump into some PvP and just talk a little about like things. I'm sure some of you guys want my opinion on like how like the game is currently going, you know, clan battle and all that stuff. For the most part, I want Crunchyroll to release some sort of poll, right? So I saw a post on Reddit that had me like, I liked it the most, right? And the reason why I like this Reddit post so much is because it covered all of the things that I thought should be done. So credits to you / Juvial Grace Heroes Contre, but pretty much suggesting that Crunchyroll needs to release a poll, right, on whether it's like 10-day banners, 15-day banners, 20 banners, or whatever things that Crunchyroll wants to implement. Because if I run a poll, or, you know, whoever runs a poll, whichever content creator, it's usually based on our fan base, right? So whoever has like a more vocalized opinion within our fan base will vote a certain way. If Crunchyroll releases their own poll for the longevity of the game and what players actually feel, that's a much better, you know, demographic, just because it captures the actual Priconne, you know, people playing. When I'm doing a poll just from my community per se, it's just set on the eyes of those who watch my channel, or those who have, you know, so happen to click and see one of the polls that I have. Of course, I'm more than happy to release like a petition or a poll or whatever in order to get more attention on the things occurring within Princess Connect. I will give it at least a couple of days for Crunchyroll to do something, because I feel like at the same time a lot of the community is jumping to a lot of assumptions, and when you jump to a lot of assumptions and there's no like clear answer, then it leads to a lot of arguments and behavior that's uncalled for. So I just kind of want to avoid all of that. So that's all I wanted to really cover about it. I hope Crunchyroll addresses it formally. If not, we'll take matters into our own hands, right? Anyways, we won that previous PvP match. That went pretty well. Kaori went down on this match. That's not too good. Mimi went down. That enemy Mimi took out our Mimi. That is no bueno. Alright, this Yuki I feel like is messing everything up because that blind on Kaori is probably pretty OP. And yeah, I think that Yuki is like the king because our Kaori missed the attacks on that Miyako. And we couldn't kill the enemy team's Miyako first, hence why we essentially lost this match. Alright, that's actually a pretty good team. That team that I just ran, it's like made to like break like tank stall-ish teams, but couldn't get through that one because of that Yuki blind. Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens here. Nozomi got taken out. Wow, that was fast. This is a Mage Melt team. So this is Mage Melt against Mage Melt. See what happens here. Alright, we do ours. We do that. Io, do your thing. Okay, they're killing each other. Oh no. Okay, our Kari dies. No, this is... Man, we took a huge L today on Bird's Arena. It's okay. Double L. It happens. It happens. Happens to the best of us. I haven't been, you know, like I said, if you are going through this though, you don't demote in rank, so feel free to challenge Arena as much as possible. But anyways, if you made it this far into this video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 17,500 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.